During the 2021 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles traded up to select wide receiver Devonta Smith. The mission was simple. They wanted the best wide receiver on their board, and they believed in that moment it was Devonta Smith. And we know that Smith is a great receiver, okay? It's evidently clear. The guy won a Heisman. I could sit here and tell you about how he can catch passes and how fast he is. That doesn't bring you anything special. What I want to do today is sit down and look at what makes Devonta Smith special. What separates him from Ja'Marr Chase? What separates him from Jalen Waddle? From every other receiver, arguably, over the past two draft classes. So buckle up. My name is Liam Jenkins, and you're about to witness a route masterpiece from Devonta Smith. This is Eagles Film Room. So let's start with the bottom of the route tree and how he gets separation from the line of scrimmage. There's around 3 yards of separation already here between Devonta Smith in the slot and the cornerback marking him here against Michigan. And what we're going to see from Devonta Smith is just a beautifully executed stutter step to burst inside. Smith may not have the speed of Jalen Waddle, but what he does have is just a phenomenal ability to burst out of his cuts. He can stop on a dime and then absolutely explode out of them. So we can see that here he's able to, when breaking off the line of scrimmage, just carry that foot forward and generate this false step. And by doing that, by breaking even, watch the momentum shift from that outside leg driving forward, then to the inside. There's the burst through. There's no contact even with the corner. And just like that, there's a step. Now, unfortunately for Mac Jones here, the deep safety is going to read that all day. It does open up a route down the other side, which goes incomplete. But I did just want to point out that route running from Devonta Smith, that initial release, just the ability to generate momentum with that back foot and push it to the front before exploding out of your stance. Instead of just standing at the line and taking a step and going, generating those false steps really does help Devonta Smith maximize his athletic skill set here. See another example of it down at the bottom of your screen. This time he's working against South Carolina. It's not the corner we're all thinking of, but nonetheless, look at that stutter, and he turns the corner completely around and able to generate separation here on this route. It is remarkable stuff. That fake shimmy sends the corner in an absolute swivel. He's got no idea what's going on, and if you slow it down and take an even closer look, it's the same thing. Look, just bringing that stutter step forward, the outside foot goes down, bang, there's the false step to sell the outside. The corner buys it, then he just breaks across, bringing all that momentum with him, and to the inside he goes. He can really gain a lot of traction doing that. As you can see, that is at least a step he's got on the corner, but it is just so easily done for him. A little false step, sell the outside with his entire body pointing towards that boundary there. He's not looking like he's going to break inside, and in one swift movement, all that momentum comes across, and it is signed, sealed, delivered. It's really that simple. Little stutter step, he angles his body outside, and that front leg is going to drive across the face of the corner and force him to open his hips. And when you get into a sprint race, it's one Devonta Smith just doesn't plan on losing. Now, this is another clip from the same game, but it's one I really wanted to focus on, because not only does he do a fantastic job of getting off the line of scrimmage with that false step, but he does something very, very subtle here to adjust for this ball. Now, upon first look, you're going to see him break out of this route, get his hands in the air, and you think that's the adjustment he makes, okay? That he jumps up for the ball, high points it, brings it down, absorbs contact, la-di-da. He does something much better than that. Let's slow this actual route down. There's the release, okay? There goes the outside. He drives across the face of the corner, buries his shoulders. Look how compact he's going to get here through contact to drive through it. Very nicely done. What he does here, though, is this tiny little stutter step. Can you see it there? That outside leg just stops a little bit because he sees the ball coming out, and he knows on a timing route that's a little bit too early. So it's going to come out at an awkward angle. So he slows himself a bit. Instead of striding through and being late, he halts a bit. He slows himself down, and that little skip there enables him to be just in time to snag that one and drive forward. You don't even notice it in full speed. It looks like he just almost takes a bit of a hitch, but it's so subtle. He is a route technician in every sense of the word. Before we move on, I mentioned South Carolina, and it wasn't the corner we wanted. Here is a route against JC Horn, just for fun. Smith is going to get a nice little launch off the line of scrimmage here, drive towards the inside, get in front of Horn, then shift his body, and Horn has to let go at that point. You can see him lose momentum. The ball doesn't go there, but look at how open he is just through his ability to drive through contact. And a lot of people worry about his size, because he won't be able to do this at the NFL. I think if he's able to stay compact and use his twitchiness to do so as he is here, it's not going to be that much of a problem. But let's talk size concerns since we're here. I think the one thing people are worried about is that he's going to get bullied at the next level. I don't think that's going to be the case unless he's lined up in the slot like we see here. So he's just going to go vertically here. He's going to get challenged by a linebacker first, run into a safety, completely disrupted. There is no way he's breaking free from there. The ball is, I think it goes to another receiver, but you can see there is no way he's getting out of it. And that's the sort of thing you'd see at the next level. I mean, he saw it plenty of times in college. Similar thing here in the Rose Bowl, again working out of the slot, gets contacted there by two defenders and gets absolutely disrupted. So he breaks out, there's plenty of separation to begin with, he can't quite shake through one, then all of a sudden he's just carrying that downfield. There's no way he's going to get through it. If he does take a hit and lose that momentum, he's not going to be able to gain it back. The defender typically is going to win it. That's the only concern with Smith, is that if you lose him in the slot, he's going to get beaten by much bigger, much more physical players. Then you don't play him there. It's kind of simple. You're going to play him on the boundary where he can have the most significant impact. I think the other thing that Smith really has going for him is not only does he have a fantastic catch radius, but an ability to locate the football. Look at this one here from the Rose Bowl. He's just going to run a simple little corner route, but it's the way he's able to turn and look for this ball. So right here, he's turning, his head's looking, Mac Jones is going to target, and he plucks it out of the air. He takes a step back, adjusts for it well, gets up over the DB. Look at the height this guy gets. Again, we're talking about a fringe 6'1" receiver here that he's going up and getting balls as if he is some sort of absolute physical menace. And he does that because he's able to get so much separation that that's his blanket. That's his equivalent of boxing out defenders. If he can get a step and get up, by the time the defender comes in, he can secure it. But look at those hops. He high points that so well. Again, very nice adjustment here. He's easy to throw to, and down he comes. I don't think there's any better play that showcases his ability to track the ball than this one. He's manned up all the way down the field, can barely get a step, and somehow hauls that one in. How he's able to do it, despite arguably being held, is very, very impressive. And if we just fast forward this a little, there goes the ball through the air. Look at the angle that he's going to haul this one in. It gets dropped perfectly into a bucket, but he turns his head. He's got eyes on this ball despite the corner having some inside leverage, and has enough about him to get his hands in the way and snag it out of the catch point of the corner. He's almost playing that like a DB and just snagging it away. And this is a guy then that in press coverage is unable to get off it, right? He's unable to get away properly. There is a bit of a hold here, but he's not able to break away. And even then, he's still able to make a thunderous play on the ball. It's a type of player the Eagles honestly haven't had in years. And I'm talking like beyond Deshaun Jackson. It's just rare the things Devonta Smith can do. And that intelligence just shows up absolutely everywhere. There's a fantastic example here against South Carolina. He's going to run this sit route perfectly and just find the soft spot of the defense. He goes right up to the corner, little shimmy to break inside and gain the initial bit of separation, and now he just has to adjust and wait. He knows there's a nice little hole there, jump for the ball, secure it, turn, go, touchdown. It's as simple as that, but it's the little things he does. If he'd have just glided across here, there's someone looking at him. If he does that too soon, someone's going to probably try and bump into him or knock him off that route. He's able to view it so well. Hear that linebacker coming over the top, wait for it, sit underneath. It's an easy score. He is a route running technician. If you want a really bad comparison, sort of like the Kurt Angle of route running. Like, look at this here. You've got a trips formation to the right hand side here for Mac Jones. And already, you can see how Michigan are going to play this. It's very much a zonal look. Devonta Smith sees this. He angles himself vertically. So right here, everything is pointing outside. This forces the DB to trace outside, open up the inside. Then he cuts across the face. That bit's easy. But now the corner's going to close over the top. So what does he do again? Watch that for this one movement here. It's now pointing vertically. So now the corner's chasing upwards. The safety's coming over because that's where Mac Jones is looking. And now you can see Smith realize this. He turns and looks for the ball. That's when he breaks. He doesn't break too soon. He doesn't break here. This isn't a banana route, as Nick Sirianni would call it. It is really a foot in the ground there, and off he goes. And at that point, the safety's come too far across because he's carried that DB upfield. He's carried it vertically. Now he's turned and looked for the ball, and look at the cleanliness in that break. He finds a soft spot in the zone. He doesn't get targeted in the end. It does go for the wrong player, but it's just the level of anticipation from Smith. Look at this formation from Alabama, okay? You're going to have Devonta Smith in the slot, but look at how Notre Dame play it. There is someone currently alongside Smith unaccounted for. You've got two linebackers there, And Devonta Smith realizes this. So he points his finger out. He's saying, look, either he's playing me, and that space is going to open up down the seam, or alternatively, he's going to cut down. That'll be a massive space for me to break into. So he gives that alert to Matt Jones. And the second that DB then breaks outside to take away the curl flat, Devonta Smith makes a break for it because he knows his zone coverage anyway. But now he knows in the middle of the field that linebacker's not moving. He's not going to do anything. So he goes right up into that circle, turns his head, and it is as simple, as smooth as you like it, just for the ball. But he could very easily have just not recognized this, ran his route. But the fact he called it, like he goes to Matt Jones, look, they're looking at each other there. They know what's coming. So he just goes straight up to the linebacker, cuts across. It is as easy as you like because there's no one around to stop. One thing we've learned about Devonta Smith is that he is the best route runner in this draft class. He is the best route runner the Eagles have had in years. And what did Nick Sirianni say not too long ago? He doesn't want banana routes. He wants you to put your foot in the ground and rip it. That is exactly what Devonta Smith does. He is perfect for that X roll. And the only other thing is on that list that Nick Sirianni has is an ability to block. And while he may not be the most proficient, he certainly puts the work in. He will not be beaten on a block. He'll go in, hustle, and try and send a guy upfield, and that is all you can ask for from an X receiver. Yes, he's going to be more comfortable in those open space looks. Yes, he's got a fantastic catch radius, and yes, he's very quick, but we know that what makes Devonta Smith special is his understanding of the game, his understanding of routes, and his technique to execute them beyond a level that I've seen most rookies operate at. It is an absolute pleasure just to watch this guy run routes. I could do it all day. Hopefully you could too. Let me know what you think, guys. From myself, Liam Jenkins. I'll see you for another episode of Eagles Film Room very, very soon. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and take care.